Howdy y'all, Twitchonium here, coming at y'all again today with another March of the Machine quick draft. Let's see if we can't open up some cool stuff today. Maybe a Praetor? Haven't had many of those. Got some Elish Norn stomped down against us in the last draft though. Well, we've got Glistening Dawn again. We've drafted around this once and it was very strong. Oh, is there anything else in this pack that I want to take over it? Not really. I really like Instructor. Gargantua's done a lot of work. Chomping Kavu, Converter Beast, but now we'll take the Glistening Dawn. It was just super solid when we played it. So if we can manage to be green, we'll definitely try. Of course, this pack has nothing in it for green. City on Fire is really cool, but I don't know. 8 mana, triple red just seems really hard to pull off in limited. Like, you'd have to be hard into the Convoke to make that worth it. And even then, it's I don't know, it feels more like a win more card instead of a card that'll, actually get you going. Now, Amonkhet, the invasion here, is one that I've been very impressed with, and blue-black is one of my favorite color pairs in the format. Inquisitor's done a lot of work too, though, and this is the earliest I think I've opened one, so it might be worth trying to snag it early and try and push into the incubator strategy. This is a tough pick. There's also Captive Weird here, which is a little more flexible than the two-colored invasion, but definitely not as strong. And there's like Meeting the Minds, Intervention for just solid cards as well. I'm tempted to pick Invasion personally. I did my last draft, if I remember correctly, from yesterday was green-white, so we wouldn't, I don't know, I mean we could try it again, but I'm going to take the Invasion, see what we open. Well, Punished, because now we do have some good green cards we can move back into here, and no good blue or black cards really. I mean, Yargle's just a filler creature. Same with the Terror, really. Here, I'll take the Tandem Takedown, though. I like both of these, really. And the Kavu. I'd take all three of these green cards if I could. Well, maybe we are supposed to be green-white again. If we're getting the signals here. Definitely not getting the blue-black signals. Green feels open. Maybe that one pack just didn't have anything in it. None of these are excellent green cards. This one's the best of the ones that has green in it. Meeting the Minds is probably also fine. Maybe we are green-blue instead of green-white. But this one I think is less replaceable than the Meeting of the Minds. Well, Storm the Seed Core. Okay, so the game wants us to have the same counters strategy as last time, it appears. I think I'm going to take the Grasp over the Moloch or the Intervention here. This is a pretty great pack, though. Invasion's awesome, Huntsmaster's awesome, Moloch is good, Intervention's great. This Ancient is a fine cycler, Scab has done great work, Grasp is awesome, yeah. Just a great pack overall. Well, we could have had parts of the Phyrexian deck, but it still doesn't look like it was super open. I'm going to take a Blossoming Sands here just to make our mana better, since we have a lot of double-pipped things already. 3/3 with Vigilance that can put the counter elsewhere sometimes, or... No, I think I want this under the Gateway. Just having access to the enchantment and artifact removal is nice. It's still a 2/2, worst case. Now we got the Kavu back, I like that. We even got the Meeting of Minds back here. I think I'm going to take the Intervention, another Kavu, the 3-drop. Again, the 3-drop. Charge. I might even play a Core Halberd in this kind of a deck. Borborygmos and Fibblethip, huh? That's a really cool card. Get to, well, he's big, he draws you cards. You can, tuck him under if he gets targeted. Just very cool, flavorful card there. Plus, watching Fibblethip just chilling on Borborygmos' head is pretty cool. For us, though, we can take the Invasion of Dominaria, another Sunder the Gateway, really, and that's pretty much it. I guess we could take a Bond Warden, even. Maybe I should be taking a Bond Warden, in fact. Right now, we only have the things that put the counters on stuff, so this would be another one of those. But if we get any of the things that care about the counters or can put extra counters on whenever we do, a 1-drop that can put counters on things might not be the worst. I don't know that I really want a second Sun or the Gateway. If you're not using the destruction part of it, it's really just a 2/2 for 2. And this deck, considering we just played one very similar to this, it felt like you needed to curve out creature to even have a chance. So maybe we're supposed to like not play the Halberd and play some 1-drop creatures so we can curve out even earlier. We definitely also need some bigger things like this guy, I think, over the Sentinel. Stacking up at the 4 slot, but we were kind of the same way yesterday too. Now, this is tough though. Daxos is just great. He's kept me in games I should have definitely not been able to stay in, but I think I really want the potential to have a big trampler at the top end that we can sometimes ramp into. Man, another pack that's pretty great for us. We've got a fine 2-drop, but another Storm the Seed Core, another Intervention, another Grasp, and another Blossoming Sense. I'd even take a Tracker to help ramp a little bit. I'm going to take another Grasp. We don't have a ton of removal yet, and I think that's what we were going to want a little more of. We didn't have very much of that in our deck yesterday. We just had like combat tricks and stuff. Although I will take another Storm the Seed Core. I think having 2 of those will be nice. Yesterday we had 2 of the Invasions, which did not play as well. In fact, maybe I shouldn't have even worried about the Invasion. Here I'll take another Bond Warden so we can have more 1-drops to get the curve going early. Quende's not really the craziest 4-drop. Maybe I just want like a Burgeoning or a Invasion, or even just the Bola Slinger, really, maybe. Could be a way to get some extra damage through in this kind of a deck. Another Invasion. I think we definitely need to shore up our 2-drops here. We really only have 1. So I'm probably supposed to take the Portent Tracker. But man, the Knight of New Coalition has done a lot of good work. Especially when we're going to try and be putting counters on a wide board. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it and keep taking these 4-drops, but I really need to take like every 2 or 3 drop that I see coming up. This could be cycled, I guess, for 2 if we really needed to. There's a 3-drop. Got 2 Invasions of Amonkhet's. That's pretty crazy. We might run a Scroll Shift. Okay, well, we didn't get any of the 2-drops on the wheel, so we need to really keep an eye out for that now. That said, Imperiosaur is busted, and we are playing the perfect kind of green-white deck for convoking this thing out. So we're just going to slam that real fast, and then I promise we'll start looking for 2-drops. We have nothing in this pack to play. I guess, actually, maybe the Racer. It's not really a 2-drop, but sort of, kind of. There's a 2-drop, although that's tough. I think I actually like the Thespian better in this type of deck, but hopefully we'll wheel it. There's one. I'd love another takedown in this deck, but I think we're really just needing the 2-drops here. That said, we also need better 3-drops, and Kami does exactly what our deck is wanting to do. I really would love to play, get both of those Thespians on the wheel, or some of these Sunders that are going by, but I'd rather play Kami than some of these Kithkins. We'll take a Smite. That's a nice pickup here. Interesting. Okay, let's go through real quick and cut what we don't want to be playing, really. We need to play all of those. The Billy Riders are not exciting. 1 is fine, but 3, maybe not. Maybe 2. If we don't get any other 3-drops would be fine. I guess we do really want to be curving out, though, so yeah, if we don't get more 3-drops, I think we should probably run them and cut some 4-drops. This Invasion, I'm fine cutting. We got 2 Seed Cores instead, and an Imperiosaur to help us push through. And we still have the Glistening Dawn I forgot about. In Charge, we don't need for sure. Probably Bola Slinger as well. And that's our deck right now. So anything we take from here on out has got to be an upgrade on one of these things. So in that sense, we do now have one Kami that ups our counters. Maybe I want a third 1-drop over another 4-drop that puts 2 bodies on the field. Especially since we have the Imperiosaur now, I'm going to take another 1-drop. And we're just going to go super low to the ground. Maybe even cut a land or 2. I doubt we're playing this one, though. Although maybe it is a way to get damage through in the end. Can get something flying in the counter. Probably not playing Escort, but maybe. Would love to wheel. There's a Wary Thespian. Thank you. Well, a little low on the 2-drops still, unfortunately. We only got 1 Thespian back. I was really hoping we'd get all 3 of them. So, definitely glad I picked up the 1-drops there, since we're kind of missing on 2s. What else did we pick up that's cheap? I guess we could run the cycling card if we felt like it. I think this is probably fine, though. We can just treat the Bond Wardens like they're just worse 2-drops, really. And we still got 4. It's not the end of the world. Need to cut a land for sure. I think it needs to be a white source. Even though we have the white 1-drops, we've got so many double green pipped cards, and all of our big stuff needs green. Which means we're cutting 1, probably maybe like a Billy Rider, I think. Although, man, with Trample and Vigilance and counters on them, those things actually turn pretty scary. Maybe I should cut the Hermit. It doesn't do the backup thing. It doesn't make bodies for the Convoke. Doesn't put lands out or anything. Yeah, I could see running it like that. So our interaction is, I guess this is kind of interaction-y. Same with Storm the Seed Core. But we don't have a ton, so we're really going to be relying on just curving out on our creatures here. So we'll see if we can make it there. I'll catch y'all in the rounds. Oh wait, actually before we do that, we did Glistening Dawn last time, so we'll put the Imperiosaur up there instead. And now I'll see you in the games. Welcome to round 1. We are on the draw here with a pretty bad hand, really. 2 1-drops and a 4-drop we can't even play. I'm going to still keep it because we at least can play most of the cards in our hand, and we just need 1 more forest for it to be good, but not the best. Well, Glistening Dawn can do a lot of good work, so even if we don't hit our colors, we might just play that on turn 4. I guess we do need another green for that too, though, actually. Never mind. Hey, there it is. Let's go wide. And hope we draw a 1, 2, or 3-drop to be able to play before we have to do this. I'd love to put 1 more creature on the battlefield before we Seed Core. Yep, they'll hit us for 3, that's fine. I mean, not fine, but we're gonna take it. Well, at least it's another creature. I think I'd rather trade 2 for 3 here than, because I don't really want to double block and trade off with this thing anyways, so I'll let them keep swinging if they want to. Interesting, this is scary. Let's do this. That way they're both big enough to swing in, and their counters, if something happens, get put on this guy. And if their removal spell is the one that requires our creatures to be tapped, they don't get to eat our Bond Wardens. Alright, that worked pretty well. They're going to get another 1/1. We didn't lose any creatures. We still have 2 3/4s on the board. And they're going to exile them all. Cool. Nasty. Thankfully, we do get to make 2 5/5s. I probably should have held that a little longer, but we're drawing dead into land here this game, so I think we really need to get some impact on the board. It's a super nasty spell, though, Sunfall. It's like what was the one from last set? White Sun's Twilight. Except instead of a bunch of little creatures, it makes one giant creature once it's done. Maybe not giant, but at least not unlimited. I could see this being a really sweet board wiping commander. You know, kill a whole board's worth of tokens and make a 30/30 or something crazy like that. Not going to swing into a 1/1 Death Toucher. We have ways to get around that. Looks like we're going to go board stall wise, but I think our deck is fine going board stall because we have a lot of ways to utilize that. All the counter synergies and our big Convoke guy and just one removal spell and we can start swinging in for 10 a turn. I'd love to draw our other Storm the Seed Core. If I haven't said it before, Storm the Seed Core has one of my favorite, is got the best art from the set in it. It's just such a good card. Ren getting carried by all the Mirrans. Looks like we're losing a 5/5 here. Unfortunate. Especially since it turns into a 3/3 for them. And more lands, of course, of course. Now I'm really wishing I would have started or held the Glistening Dawn a little longer. Although then we would have been eating probably 4 or 6, 7 a turn, so maybe not. They might start sending in just a trade-off to make their shade better. Or they're going to get back their best thing. I guess they don't have much in there at least, thankfully. Still, that's pretty scary. And yet again, just drawing into more lands. We even have cut lands from this deck, and we haven't drawn anything but lands yet. I guess we drew one thing. What was it? Oh, it was the Billy Rider, maybe? I forget. A second Bond Warden, perhaps? No, we started with 2 Bond Wardens. Oh, it was the Gateway. So we trade here, they get a bigger shade, and we're left in a terrible board state. Well, this is cool, but not really as much when we don't have the creatures to make it huge. They still have their Death Toucher out as well, which is a shame. They'll be able to flip this and start making a 1/1 every single turn also with flying. Yeah, if this flips, we just have no way in our deck to deal with that. And they absolutely can flip it here. Well, if they wanna flip their guys for life, I'm actually pretty okay with that because like maybe a Seed Core getting this guy up to like 14 or something could be with Trample an out if they swing out here at the invasion. Yeah, they can have the 4 and the card draw. Looks like they top decked into removal. Yep. Gonna go ahead and concede up on this one. That's brutal. We were doing pretty well there for a bit. We just lost our momentum and they were able to swing things around with their removal spells and we just kept drawing land. But we'll see if we can shake it off and get right on into the next one here. Welcome to round 2. We are on the draw with a hand I'm gonna have to toss back. We don't have anything until turn 4 really. Like sure we have some interaction, but this is better. It's still not great, but better. I'm gonna ditch a land. Yeesh. Start with our Thespian, I guess, to make sure we keep hitting the right lands. Or just the right cards in general. Well, since we're hitting our lands, I'm going to actually get the Instructor down first, since it blocks their Knight pretty well. And if they want to spend their turn flipping it this turn, I'm okay with that too. Take the damage, yeah. No blocks. I'm going to play the Thespian first, even though we still don't have good blocks on their guy. I don't think I want a Billy Rider. Oh no, maybe I do with Storm the Seed Core, but I really just need that land, yeah. Gonna keep drawn towards a land, and we'll probably just smite the Alabaster Host here instead. Looks like they've got something, though. Or not. At least not for that. Alright, what are we milling? All our green mana, I'm guessing. Yep. Yep. Of course. Of course. So we're in bad shape unless we can top deck into green. Even then, we're still not in great shape. Need more creatures, not things to put on creatures. And our deck's filled with creatures. Hey, that's a good draw. I'm going to spread these out. Okay, fair enough. Looks like we're getting something else done to us, too. Well, that sucks for this guy, because I really want him to die. I guess we can at least still block with it. Chump with him. Yeah, not a good spot. We'll draw another land here. Ooh, we didn't draw the land. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to try and put this on the Instructor. Maybe this will just get countered outright. Gonna bounce the realm, the grasp. Oh, okay, they're making a copy and copying it. Nasty. On the plus side, them having to do it this way means I get to see that they are going to have a 4/4 before I have to decide where my counter goes. So I at least, on the very least, can, you know, have that. Sheesh. Yeah, C-Double is a very powerful card. At least they milled their Shieldred. That's something, I suppose. That would have been a instant concession. Maybe they're just trying to mill us. Yeesh. I guess they're losing first on that if they do that route. But holy cow. I guess now they get their Shieldred back, though. Yeah. And all they need is one more mana to play it. Yeah, this one's ridiculously nasty as well. If I put all the counters on this guy... No, I only have to put 3 on him, and I can put 1 on this one. Then when it flips, if I flip it next turn, I guess I shouldn't attack with it. If I flip it next turn, though, or whenever they have Shieldred out, I suppose, I get to kill her with that. If they can't deal with it. I'm guessing they can. They've got a chock full of cards in their hand. Cool, that's what I figured. Shieldred will sack the Wary Thespian. been wanting to kill it off anyways since they put the thing on it. I don't think Kami's enough at this point. That's a much better draw. In fact, I think I just use that like this, right? Trade our guys off, and then we can flip this to kill this lady. They'll play her and get the free attack in. Oh, wait. Oh, I played this wrong. That's also just GG right there, maybe. Oh, well, I don't know why they did that. They could have played this thing, put the thing on this guy, swung in with Menace. We couldn't have blocked. They could have put Shieldred back on. We would have had to sack our dude. A 1-drop is not going to cut it, though. Brutal. So, unfortunately, it's looking like this little low-to-the-ground deck is not what this format is going to need, which I kind of had a feeling after the draft yesterday, but we got the Imperiosaur, and we got the... I forget the name of it again. What's the one that's 4 mana that makes your 2 lands huge or whatever, or makes 2 creatures for all your huge lands, whatever that thing's called. But yeah, I'm gonna go straight on to the next one here, by the way. I'm just keeping on talking. Well, on the draw, I think this is an alright hand. We don't have a 2-drop, but we at least have a 1, a 3, a way to put a counter on this guy. We'll see. Maybe this be turn 4-drop for a land. So far, though, definitely not liking the way this deck is played out. It's probably my fault for taking all those... I mean, it's definitely my fault. I drafted the deck, but for taking all those other 4-drops over the 2-drops that kept going by, I think this deck really just needed a solid foundation of 2-drops that it didn't get. Like right now. Not doing anything. Oh, that's a cool draw. We'll start putting as many creatures out as we can here. I think next turn maybe even we'll do the sands. Okay, so I'm not familiar with how this works, so I'm going to test it. This might be a waste of a card. But this says it can't be enchanted by... Where's protection? Can't be enchanted or equipped by anything with that color. So if I do this, and I say white, that falls off, right? Yeah, it does. That's pretty sweet. Today I learned a new thing about protection. Very cool. I wonder how many times that's been an option for me and then I just didn't realize. Let's do this. If they block with their Lathiel, which looks like a good block, we can snipe it. Unfortunately not. It says lifelink, right? Yeah, we'll just bind up Lathiel. If they have no other ways to gain lifelink, then it's fine. If they do, they'll still get a little value, but we have Smite, and we're going to drop a giant creature here next turn. Oh well. In fact, we're going to not do what I said, and we're going to play a Kavu on our double striker here, so that way our double striker can't be blocked. And that makes Kavu lethal next turn. Almost. Not quite. Go ahead and... Interesting. actually use this on the Bond Warden so that they don't get to put counters on their flyer. And we'll just trade these off. And we can still play the Imperiosaur. And with the trample, that should be GG. Ooh, alright, well, we didn't get skunked this draft at least. Nice, so better than nothing. See you on the next round. Welcome back to the next round. We are on the draw this time with a fine hand, I suppose. Unless we just start with a 1-2-3 drop in our hand, I'm going to not feel great about this, and that's pretty unlikely in this deck. I will say, considering we don't have that many 3-drops in the deck, wow, just lands again. It's been, yet again, disproportionate that we've seen 3-drops and not 2-drops. Like, I think we've got 3 3-drop creatures and 4 2-drop creatures, and yet we've seen the Billy Rider every single game we've played, and we haven't seen a 2-drop but, like, one of the games so far. More lands, of course, of course. Just drop the creature. We'll save the takedown for next turn, maybe. All right. Oh, there's a 2-drop at least. Let's swing first, see what they do. I really hope they block, yeah. Alright, so now we can do this. And guess we shoot this one. We trade here now, get the extra damage from our Billy Rider, and get to put the counter onto it. Which I think is where we want that counter to be. Not a great spot to be, especially considering our hand is just filled with lands, but... let's swing first, see if they've got some interaction here, which they definitely do. Terrible. Let's see what we're surveilling into. More lands, of course. Yet again, the deck we drafted that has less lands than an average one continues to have games where all we do is draw lands. Another Bond Warden. Well, at least it looks like their deck is the same as ours here, more or less. Sadly, these are not artifacts or enchantments. Actually, I think I'm just going to hold on to it. If they do play a scary enchantment or artifact, I'm going to want to be able to deal with it. And a 2-2 random 2-2's not doing anything on this board anyways. And the Bond Wardens continue. Looks like they're going to use more removal here. Yep. That stinks. Now I will play the 2-2 out to make sure that we've got the threat of blocks here against their guys. On the plus side, the 0-1 still convokes if we draw into our big dinosaur. but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. We've drawn a 2-2 and a 0-1 since we started, and we've just... Well, I guess we did draw a second Billy Rider as well that they dealt with. I really don't want to trade that, and then they get to put their counters here, too. Wow, game, wow. We'll swing with both and let them trade into our Thespian. Or not. Well, if we draw into Glistening Dawn, that's the name of that card. Glistening Dawn, if we draw that card, we can make 2 8/8s, which would be really nice. If we draw into our Imperiosaur, that's nice. If we draw into pretty much anything else, it's not. And looks like that's going to be GG. So, I know I was hating on the deck itself earlier a little bit, but I think that the draws and 2 of our losses here are largely to be blamed. Like, what do you even do? We already cut down the lands in this deck significantly. Like, it's already short. We'll trade everything off and see if we can dig into something with the Thespian here. Sure, of course they do. Really tempted to just concede outright, but... Okay, well that was our first non-land draw for a while. Would have done nothing for us. Storm the Seed Core also does nothing for us. Submit 0. Brutal. Not a great run this time, sadly. At least we didn't get skunked. Got 1 win in there, but let's take a look at the deck that did not perform. Well, never drew the Ancient, so that didn't come into play. Imperiosaur, every time we drew it, the deck wasn't in a state to really take advantage of it, sadly. The Seed Cores are great, but we never really, like, every time we got them, we really only had 1 creature or 2 creatures to use them on, which didn't feel great. Glistening Dawn, we only drew once. Kavus were fine. No issues there. Knight, we never drew. Takedown was fine. Kami, we drew once, and it was bad in the state that we drew it in. We drew the 3 Billy Riders every game. Multiples in every game. Barely ever drew our Thespians, except for that last game there. Drew the Instructor 1 time. Gateway, we got a bunch. Grasp, we got a fair amount. Intervention, we got a little bit. Smite, we got once in 4 games. And Bond Warden, we got in every game. So yeah, Bond Warden and the Billy Riders. I mean, we do have 3 of each, but even then, it felt very unproportionate. Like drawing 3 copies of this in 1 game, 2 copies of this in almost every game, yet never drawing a Thespian until the end, even though there's 2 of those. You know, like the cards we had duplicates of didn't feel nearly as frequent as the triplicates. Lessons learned, I suppose. But that's going to do it for today's draft. I appreciate you all coming along on this ride with me here, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.